Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the garden at Holy Rosary. I thought I'd sit somewhere different. I'm not long in, so I hope you managed to get the internet signal on this where I am in the garden. Different view, I thought, for a change. If you can see behind me, the greenhouse. I hope you've had a good day. I was thinking today, it's been one of those days when, and I'm sure some of you will know this. Sorry, before I go into that, when I kind of 4:45, I said, watch on Facebook and have a cup of tea, and I said I've got no scone because there were some scones in the freezer, but I only came in just before 4:45 from a funeral, so I had no scone. And then about 5 minutes after that, somebody rang the doorbell and said, Lydia made some scones for tomorrow, so we couldn't have you not have one. So, can you see? I hope you can see the scone. Lydia Lewis, thank you very much. I won't eat into it now, but it's lovely. So, thank you. I was going to have a plain biscuit, but it's lovely. So it's been one of those days when I don't know about you, and I'm sure you'll know the truth of this, because I'm sure it's not just for me, but I sometimes think, I'm more than one person. So, this morning I got up, said my prayers, we had Mass, and then we had a long meeting of the Archbishop's Council. And that's all kind of talking about diocesan things, and, it's meant to give the Archbishop counsel. I don't know whether the counsel's ever any good. I don't know whether he does listen sometimes. So I was going to say I don't think he always listens, but he does. And so, I kind of think I live in that world. And then I have this diocesan job that, most of you know about. I'm what's called an Episcopal Vicar. An Episcopal Vicar for mission planning. So I'm responsible for, in a sense, trying to reshape the diocese and all that. So that's another hat you wear. Then I wear the Synod hat. So that's another hat. And then, I've done a funeral this afternoon. So you're kind of being a parish priest again. And so, I don't know, I'm sure you'll find yourselves that, if you go to work, you have the person at work, and then you come home and your mum or your dad or the feeder of the family or whatever. And sometimes, I don't know which hat I'm wearing. Sometimes I don't know who I am. Does that make sense, or am I just completely mad? But one of the things it made me think about, because I was thinking of that today, because it's been one of those days when I've done lots of different things. And yeah, Pauline, he says multitasking is not always easy. It's not. But for me, it's very enriching. And I was thinking, as in my life as a priest, I've had a number of opportunities where, the bishop said, I want you to do this job, and I think it's such a job that you shouldn't be in a parish. And I've always said, I'll do the job, certainly, but I must be in a parish as well. So because I lived for 12 months in Evesham House. I'll tell you more about that one day. It was a very strange place to live. The first job, Evesham House was the diocesan youth headquarters. My room overlooked Sefton Park Lake. It was lovely. It was really nice in terms of where it was. But the first job every morning was coming downstairs and cleaning all the slugs off the kitchen floor. So the place was in a bit of a mess, I have to say. It wasn't kind of the easiest place to live, and it didn't belong to the diocese. We had it on a peppercorn rent, so there wasn't money to spend on it and all those issues. And for a year I was living there, and I wasn't in a parish, and I really missed it. And I left from there, but that's another story. But I've always been lucky to be a priest in a parish, but I've also had other things to do. No, Joan, I'm not stressed. I'm very well. I'm fine. Thank you. Please don't worry. I'm not at all stressed. Yeah, Jane used to go there for weekends in Father Harnet's time. So Father Harnet left and I moved in. Um, but I've always been lucky to do more than one thing. And I think it's been so enriching. So, at the beginning, I was a curate and I was a school chaplain and then chaplain at the sixth form college in Preston. And it was wonderful to do all those three things together. Sometimes it was hard work. I mean, like anybody who juggles lots of jobs, lots of you will be in positions where you look after family, you might look after parents, you might look after children, you might look after grandchildren, you've got work to do. I mean, lots of us do different things and have to juggle different things all at the same time. And sometimes it can really be difficult. So I've been, as I say, I've been, a school chaplain, college chaplain. I was chaplain to the Albert Dock. Now you might say, not lucky, blessed and called to do it. You're right. I mean, it's been a blessing. It has. But chaplain to the Albert Dock was funny. When I lived at St. Pat's, I wasn't working in the parish. I told you about the housekeeper and the Good Friday, fasting meal of a whole salmon. And I was working in the Albert Dock. And it was in the days when the Albert Dock was just starting up to be, it's the Royal Albert Dock now, just starting up to be, a big tourist attraction. And Bishop Shepherd and Archbishop Derek Warlock wanted a church presence in the Albert Dock. So I used to go every morning, yes, chaplain to the Empire, that was another string to the bow. Used to go every morning and sit in an office in the Albert Dock and think, what am I doing here? It wasn't the most exciting experience of my priestly life, I have to say. But I became chaplain to the youth service, but a parish priest as well. Ran the youth pilgrimage for many years to Lourdes, which was fantastic. I have been a parish priest in lots of different parishes, which, if this lasts for much longer, you'll hear all about those. So then, yes, Safe Harbours began. So I happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, looking after leaving Safe Harbours, and that became something I was responsible for. And then when that finished and Archbishop Malcolm came, I thought that was it. And then he said, no, I want you to carry on doing this. And then the synod came. So, all through my life as a priest, it's been a real privilege to be in a parish, and I'd hate not to be in a parish. I would hate it, because I love being part of a community, part of a parish community. But I've also loved being able to do other things that have been very challenging, sometimes that have been beyond my abilities, I often think. But it's always been something that I've been able to say, well, okay, I'll just do the best I can. And maybe that's what, we're all wearing lots of different hats. Lots of us wear different hats. And I think all we can all do is just do the best we can. That's all of us can do. So maybe that's a good point to stop today. I'm conscious tomorrow is a bank holiday. I don't think that probably means very much. I mean, we're still having Mass tomorrow at 9:10. And it's a celebration of VE Day tomorrow. So I've got some scones in the freezer, which I'll take out in time for a VE Day tea and chat tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So I hope you can join in that tomorrow. Because it's a bank holiday, there might be more than a cup of tea tomorrow. Who knows? But thank you for being around today. Thank you for being, allowing me to be the priest in the parish where I am and in the parishes where I have been. And it's lovely to share this cup of tea and a scone. I will stop talking. Anne Daly, I noticed, watching. I saw Anne had a fall and broke her wrist or her arm. I hope, Anne, you're feeling much better. I'm going to stop in a moment and I'll have a drink of tea, and I'm going to eat this scone, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good bank holiday tomorrow. Have a good evening tonight. Good bank holiday. I've thought of a little story I want to share with you for tomorrow, and I look forward to talking again then. God bless everyone. Rita, you've reminded me. 8 o'clock, bells and claps I forgot last week because of the novena. 8 o'clock, if you're around, clap all those who are caring, all those who are helping, all those key workers. 8 o'clock, I'll set my alarm. Lydia, the scone is beautiful. Thank you.